Oh, and I'm sorry, before, I didn't introduce, is Barbara still there?
Yeah.
Barbara Peridelli is the chairperson of the...
I'm the corresponding secretary on the executive board of Sheets of Bay Fund, and I go to all the meetings.
Yes. Okay.
And that's my mommy.
And George and I, you were at the meeting for ETO when I first met
Right,
them.
I'm going to get into that as well. But just a point of personal indulgence before I get into ETO. I would be doing myself a disservice if I didn't announce that I am going to be running for city council this year. I'm not going to bore you with campaign speeches right now. I just wanted to let everybody know. Moving forward, let's talk about ETO, because this was also on GarrettsBeach.net, and it's a website that I do frequent, I do comment on, and I do like very much. So I'll just...
You sign your name, sir?
All the time, Gene B. Absolutely I do. Anonymous comments, I mean, I can get into First Amendment law, all about that. I run a bunch of websites myself as a business, baseballdigest.com. I can talk to you about all that information if you want to. Okay, so I'm going to explain everything. Feel free to ask questions. Disclaimer number one, I do not represent Environmental Task Force operations in any way, shape, or form. In my capacity as Palm Beach Civic Association General Counsel, I have worked with them. I see your question. I'll take questions at the end of the meeting. Or at the end of my speech, if you don't mind. I don't represent them at all. I represent Sheets of Bay Palm Beach Civic Association. I do represent clients. I am an attorney. ETO basically was introduced to Barbara at a meeting on GB Trail.
George and several other.
Okay, calm down, guys. I'm up here back there. And ETO was introducing themselves to different community groups. Basically, they are an organization, a not-for-profit corporation that has tax exempt status, like many other organizations do in the area. And their mission is to clean up marine debris all over the city of New York. One of the founding members is actually Bill Dunphy. I believe he lives in New York. So they were going to be applying for a grant that Sheets of Bay Palm Beach Civic was also applying for. Ultimately, we didn't get the grant, but we joined with their application to kind of get rid of the competition, and because that we found them to be a credible organization, we were introduced them through Anthony Testaverde at Marty Golden's office. They had letters of recommendation from DEP and from Assemblyman Simbrowitz, and we got resumes of everybody involved with ETO before we decided to write the grant application. They include Navy SEAL divers, salvage experts. We found them to be pretty credible. Skipping ahead now to the present. ETO works out of a trailer. Their trailer was on DEP property on the other side of Shellbank Creek. They had to move in June. They were going to move, I think, to Mill Avenue. SSJ Development, to Stephen Jamal's company, I don't know how it was agreed upon or who approached whom, but the upshot of it is that ETO is going to be cleaning up Shellbank Creek and their property, all the boats that have sunk in there. And in exchange, ETO gets to maintain their trailer on the property.
Saw that big trailer being moved there.
Right. So now, from what I understand, again, I think Greg Moss was supposed to come, but there was a confusion whether the meeting was on the 1st or the 8th. So that's why he's not here explaining it to you. He's one of the principals of ETO. So at this point, the creek's going to be getting cleaned up, and they've walked into a political hornet's nest because this is Stephen Jamal. He's not well liked in this area. He's definitely not well liked by me. He tried to sue my civic association. But the good news is that the creek's going to get cleaned. So 6 of one, half a dozen of the other here. And ETO was supposed to come and answer questions. I'll be glad to take questions. I answer them to the best of my ability and move on from there. And what I'll do is I'll make sure that George gets, I think you already have Greg's information. So if you have questions, give them to George, he'll email them to Greg, and I know Greg will give you an emailed response.
Gene,
that you can get out to everybody.
You're talking about the side of the Riviera, right?
I'm talking about Danzas, yes.
The Danzas or the Riviera?
Okay, I'm not from the area.
But you
I believe the property that
what I was
you
talking about before where the boats were by the Bay Club.
Right.
Jamal owns
The
both
property that's
properties.
Stephen. I believe I believe they're
Okay.
going to be cleaning up both the entirety of the two properties. I don't know exactly where the trailer is. The trailer is on
Dan's
Dan's
property.
property.
And the boatyard.
Thank you.
But will
Dan
they
Lynn
clean
and the
up,
boat
like,
you're doing.
okay, Jamal let them stay on his property, so they're going to clean up his property.
Well, no,
There's
it's the water, not the property
No,
itself.
right, but there's
Most of the garbage is on
waterfront,
his property.
They
right,
have nothing to do with the property itself.
right.
They have to do with marine debris cleanup.
Right, but
The docks, the
there's
boats.
debris right next to where Jamal, are they gonna touch that, or no?
Is it in the water?
Yes.
I believe they will be. Now, I don't know about methodology. I'm not, although I live in the area, I'm not really a boat person. I don't believe that anything is going to be coming in and out of the streets. Everything, I think, is going to get towed out of the creek and brought over to a
So
salvage.
Jay, is he gonna dismantle the docks for them?
I believe
He's
so.
required to dismantle those docks?
Yes. Everything, the docks, the sunken boats.
Well, we're
All
doing
of
this
it's
guy a
considered marine
big
debris.
favor then, aren't we? Aren't we doing this guy a tremendous
Sure,
favor?
yeah, why?
$6 a paying
Why?
to remove his garbage.
Why are they doing
No,
it?
no, that's not tax dollars.
So the northern
Or
property is...
the non-tax
All
dollars.
right, wait, let's hear Gene out first.
Okay.
I know we have.
Again, listen, I'm not going to take any of this personally. It's not my company. I will pass on the information. I'm here basically as a friend to Garris Beach, and to George, of course, you know. This man's like Clark Kent right now, but he's really Superman in the community. And so, please, bombard me, and I'll make sure, I'll come back next month, either with them or with answers for you. I'm doing this as a service, so.
Before I ask Bernie Shocker, right now,
Right.
correctly, and Jack to speak to the subject. I did attend the meeting. I was asked to by a representative. When the meeting was over, I did ask why somebody from Jersey Beach Cares had not attended, because they were more involved with the lifting and boats, etc. And the long and short of it is, what this community is concerned about is that here is a developer who does not care about the character of our community, all right? Waterfront property, it could be great. On Knapp Street, we fought for 2 years. Tom and Katie Gavitt, our representatives, Alan, about Knapp Street. That was Lentnick, wanted to put up a 6-story apartment building. It took 2 years, he lost. But he sold the property to Jamal. Okay, now the architectural drawing he has on that billboard, everything about that is legal, up to a point. It all seems to be legal.
I defer to Ken Lazaro.
Okay.
Yes.
However,
If he's still around.
the point we're trying to avoid is the filling in of the water property. And we're keeping a very careful eye on all of that. Now, while keeping a careful eye on it, we have asked the buildings department to keep their eye on what he is doing. And that's required putting up the construction fence, which was done, and so on. As we progressed in keeping our eye on this man, he then turned around with the other properties. That's his right. He wants to put in these condos on the old Danza property. Again, nothing, I believe in free enterprise. However, we're talking about, we've spent part of this evening and the last 2 meetings talking about problems on our courts. First of all, the courts in the old section are pedestrian courts. They've grown in time to carry automotive on them. The Everett Avenue, which goes down to Lakefront, that how they will move traffic in and out off of that area with, I don't know how many condos he proposes, but that's our concern. We had him, let us put it this way, we know he's having some financial problems.
Oh, absolutely.
It's an absolute, we know about that.
People know that he's in court right now, right?
Yes. So now you ask yourself,
I'll explain it when
you ask yourself the question, if a man is in a ring and he gets the guy up against the ropes, Does he walk away and say, oh, okay, I won? No. He's got to be against the rules.